I hope you people are understanding. कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं हो रही? And speed of the session? धीरे, कम, कुछ ज़्यादा? ज़्यादा है यार, 40 पेजेस करे अभी तक हमने. हाँ, 40 पेजेस करें और अभी 140 पेजेस तो ऑब्स में है. आज ऑब्स होगा, आज ऑब्स होगा. So we will be doing OBS, right? And tomorrow you have, I think, image-based session, medicine. आ रहा है, कल आएगा. कल image-based है, medicine and pathology. Medicine कौन कराएगा? भाटिया सर कराएंगे. And pathology, प्रवीण सर. Then day after tomorrow you have image-based for radio, ortho, derma, right? 19th, which leaves us a window of 20th. 20th को I will do gynae. चलेगा? I could have done it tomorrow, but problem is tomorrow I have to go to an MC office. So I will not, I can't do that. Otherwise मैं change कर लेती, मैं कल कर लेती. So that एक दिन OBS, एक दिन gynae हो जाता. But because I have to go there, so that is why, because the speed at which we are going, it is taking us 40 minutes. But after every 40 pages we will take a break. ठीक है, 40 करते जाओ तब ब्रेक देंगे. तो 40 के बाद लंच ब्रेक, देन अगले 40 के बाद टी ब्रेक, एंड देन अगले 40 के बाद खत्म. हार्ड कॉपी ऑफ इमेज बेस, इमेजेस का तो हार्ड कॉपी मिलेगा, इमेज बेस सेशन का हार्ड कॉपी मिलेगा. तो पीडीएफ तो दिया ना मैंने, दी एनोटेटेड पीडीएफ. हाँ तो पर अभी जो लिखा रहे हैं लिख क्यों नहीं रहे हो? ठीक है, I'll give you the annotated PDF. ठीक है, for the class. For all of you who are here, I'll give you the annotated PDF. चलो, let's start. अतुल एंड ये सारे जितने भी, ये क्यों नहीं ये स्टार्ट? अच्छा ये ऑलरेडी कनेक्टेड है क्या? ओह सॉरी आई वाज ट्राइंग टू कनेक्ट इट अगेन. चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद अबॉर्शन. अब अबॉर्शन से स्टार्ट करते हैं. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय अबॉर्शन? हाँ, एनी प्रेगनेंसी लॉस up till 20 weeks, that is what is called as abortion. ठीक? Okay. Now, please remember WHO की definition क्या है? WHO की definition of abortion is that if the fetal weight is less than 500 grams, then that is called as abortion, right? Then spontaneous pregnancy loss, which is happening at more than equal to 20 weeks, is intrauterine death of the fetus. That's intrauterine death of the fetus. अब इसमें ना ये properly आया नहीं है, just let me open it here. Right. Now, intrauterine death of fetus and pregnancy loss up till that is less than 20 weeks पे abortion. What is the most common spontaneous cause of abortion? What is the most common? Aneuploidy या chromosomal defect. Which chromosomal defect? The best answer is aneuploidy. If aneuploidy is not given, Trisomy, very good. If trisomy is not given, monosomy X, excellent. And if monosomy X is not given, trisomy 16. Trisomy 16. Right? Then, Sumit, Khali PDF is there on Triple S group or it is also there on the CTG group. Then, please remember, infections can lead to spontaneous abortions, yes or no? Yes. Single episode of abortion, infections can lead to single episode of abortion. Now tell me, which is that one infection which never leads to abortion? HIV. HIV does not lead to abortion. HIV is not going to lead to abortion. Right? Okay. Then, next important point, suppose if I ask you, most common cause of abortion. Saurav, you are writing, should we revise Marrow RR notes or this PDF? If it is for FMG exam, this PDF is more than enough. But if it is for NEET exam, please go and revise Marrow RR notes. Right? Okay. Most common cause of abortion. And, Arey Baba, I am giving you a question. Your options are option A, monosomy X, option B, trisomy 16, option B, trisomy 18, option D, triploidy. What is your answer going to be? Monosomy X. As I told you, you have to first look for aneuploidy. If aneuploidy is given, you have to mark that as the answer. If that is not given, you have to look for only trisomy. Right? Trisomy ke aage no number should be written. And if that is not given, then you have to look for monosomy X. And if that is not given, then you have to look for trisomy 16. Right. Now, what is recurrent pregnancy loss or recurrent abortion? Recurrent pregnancy loss or recurrent abortion is if there are 3 or more than 3 consecutive pregnancy losses which are happening, that is recurrent abortion. When should you start investigating for recurrent abortion? When there are 2 abortions. Whenever a female gives you history of previous 2 abortions, don't wait for the 3rd abortion to happen to start investigating. You have to start investigating even if she gives you history of 2 abortions. Right? Don't remember this ASRM's new definition. Forget it. Now, what is the most common group of causes leading to abortions? Most common group is endocrine group. Endocrine causes. If it is written as endocrine causes, that is the most common cause. If endocrine cause is not given, then you have to look for the answer as uterine cause. Right? What is the single most common cause? APLA. Excellent. Can chromosomal anomalies lead to recurrent abortions? Yes. They can lead to recurrent abortion. Which is that most common chromosomal anomaly which leads to recurrent abortions? Balanced transfer. You guys are so intelligent. अच्छे से पढ़ कर आए हो, हाँ? किरी नोट से देख के बोल रहे हैं, मैं बिना देखे बोल रही हूँ. गुड, वेरी गुड. बैलेंस ट्रांसलोकेशन ऑफ क्रोमोसोम्स. ये वही होता है ना, मतलब जो हमने उसमें देखा था, वो कौन सी मूवी थी, 3 इडियट्स कि नहीं याद नहीं, वो 3 इडियट्स में था कि बहुत बुरा लगता है अगर दोस्त फेल हो जाए, लेकिन उससे भी बुरा लगता है अगर दोस्त फर्स्ट आ जाए तो. Okay, what percentage of chromosomal anomalies lead to recurrent abortions? Only 4%. right? Only 4% chromosomal anomalies lead to recurrent abortions. Infections. Can infections lead to recurrent abortions? Please remember, no. Earlier they used to say कि syphilis leads to recurrent abortions, but syphilis does not lead to recurrent abortion. No infections lead to recurrent abortions, right? Now, so there are 4 established causes of recurrent pregnancy loss. What are the 4 established causes? APLA syndrome, which I told you is the single most common cause, single wala. Then uterine structural abnormalities like septate uterus, then there can be cervical incompetence, fibroid, polyp, chromosomal abnormalities like balance translocation, and in endocrine causes, hypothyroidism. Keeping this in mind, suppose a female comes to you with recurrent pregnancy loss and they ask you, what all investigations are you going to do? So number 1, endocrine mein, the most important one is hypothyroidism. So to rule out hypothyroidism, I am going to do TSH. Then uterine causes को rule out करने के लिए I am going to do ultrasound. APLA को rule out करने के लिए APLA antibodies, right? And chromosomal anomalies को rule out करने के लिए parental karyotyping. 4 investigations which you have to do in all patients who come to you with recurrent abortions are TSH, APLA, TVS, and number 4, parental karyotyping. Now they are going to ask you, all of the following investigations are done except, us except में you have to look for torch test, us except में you have to look for VDRL, because infections do not lead to recurrent abortions. Next important thing which I want to tell you is, suppose you get a question. Suppose they ask you most common cause of recurrent abortions, right? And in the options they have given you hypothyroidism, APLA, uterine causes, right? And RH incompatibility. What are you going to mark the answer as? All of you are going to mark the answer as APLA. सबके सब APLA मार्क करोगे? What are you going to mark the answer as? सब लोग APLA मार्क करोगे? अच्छा, पहले मुझे एक बात बताओ, एक्सेप्ट फॉर सलमान खान, उसको छोड़ दो, लेकिन अगर देर इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल फाइटिंग अगेंस्ट अ सिंगल पर्सन, हु इज गोइंग टू विन? पागल है? ग्रुप APLA, group of people fighting against single person, APLA will win. एक ग्रुप है who is fighting against a single person, group will win, right? Except for our Hollywood movies, everywhere group wins. अब यहाँ पे have they given you a group? पागल है क्या? यूट्राइन causes क्या है? Uterine causes, they are not saying fibroid, they are not saying polyp, they are not saying uterine malformations. Group दिया ना, uterine causes is a group. ये देखो ना अभी क्या लिखा, endocrine cause is the most common group followed by uterine cause. है ना? केवल पढ़ना important नहीं है, उसको पढ़ के अप्लाई करना भी उतना ही important है, right? So यहाँ पे group is uterine cause. Uterine causes is a group ना, मतलब group का मतलब क्या है? The cause is not specified, it's a group. अब it could be fibroid, it could be a polyp, it could be septate uterus, it could be cervical incompetence, right? So जब भी group दिया होगा, you are going to mark the answer as group. ठीक, तब you are not going to mark the answer as APLA, right? अगर सिंगल कॉजेज दिए हैं, देन यू आर गोइंग टू मार्क द आंसर एज APLA. अब मान लो इसी में इंस्टेड ऑफ यूट्राइन कॉजेज इट वॉज रिटन सर्वाइकल इनकॉम्पिटेंस, अब APLA होता. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? बिकॉज एवरी कॉज इज अ सिंगल कॉज, राइट? अगर ग्रुप दिया है, कौन सा ग्रुप दिया है? बेस्ट आंसर इज एंडोक्रीन. If it is written endocrine causes, that becomes the best answer. एंडोक्रीन नहीं दिया है देन यूट्राइन कॉजेस, राइट। और अगर ग्रुप नहीं दिया है देन इट इज एप्ला। सिंगल कॉजेस कंपेयर करें देन इट इज एप्ला। क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू? दिस इज हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू मार्क योर आंसर। ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टूड? नो कंफ्यूजन्स? देन in uterine anomalies, right, what is the most common time for abortions? Now honeybee is asking why not hypothyroidism. Beta, hypothyroidism is not the single most common cause of abortion. Single most common cause of abortion is APLA. Whenever single causes are being compared, you have to mark the answer as APLA, right? Then comes uterine anomalies. Uterine anomalies can lead to both second trimester abortions and first trimester abortions. Most common time is second trimester followed by first trimester, right? Most common congenital anomaly leading to recurrent pregnancy loss. Which congenital anomaly leads to recurrent abortions? Septate uterus. Most common congenital anomaly, right? So it will be septate uterus. Please remember, septate uterus generally leads to second trimester abortions, but it can lead to first trimester abortion also. Most common acquired anomaly of the uterus leading to recurrent abortions: cervical incompetence. Cervical incompetence leads to only second trimester abortions. याद रहेगा सबको? Yes? अपना नाम बताओ मुझे। हाँ, नाम बताओ। आफ्ताब। आफ्ताब याद रहेगा? अब थोड़ी देर बाद पूछूंगी, ठीक है? ओके। सर्वाइकल इनकॉम्पिटेंस. सर्वाइकल इनकॉम्पिटेंस लीड्स टू ओनली सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर अबॉर्शंस. इट नेवर लीड्स टू फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर अबॉर्शंस. कैरेक्टरिस्टिक जो होती है ना सर्वाइकल इनकॉम्पिटेंस के अबॉर्शंस की, दे आर पेनलेस अबॉर्शंस. So whenever your question says painless second trimester recurrent abortion, immediately you should know they are talking about cervical incompetence. Cervical incompetence को diagnose करने के लिए what is the investigation? TVS, right? TVS पे what am I going to see? TVS पे you have to see the length of the cervix, you have to see the dilatation of the cervix, and you have to see the shape of the cervix. An important thing which all of you should remember is, as the cervix dilates, it becomes shorter. ठीक है? As the cervix is going to dilate, it is going to become shorter. Normally in a pregnant female, what is the length of the cervix? 4 to 5 centimeters. How do you diagnose cervical incompetence? If the length of the cervix is less than 2.5 centimeters. Length is less than equal to 2.5 centimeters. या dilatation is more than equal to 2 centimeters. And as you can see, what will be the shape of the cervix? U-shaped cervix. So please remember, normally the shape of the cervix is T-shaped, right? And cervical incompetence mein it is going to become U-shaped cervix, right? Okay. Now, whenever there is cervical incompetence, what is the management? Management of cervical incompetence? Cerclage. Excellent. So, management is cerclage. So remember, जब भी cerclage करते हैं, along with cerclage you have to give progesterone. So you have to do a cervical cerclage plus progesterone. ये जो सर्वाइकल सर्कलाज है, यू कैन डू इट विजाइनली or you can do it abdominally. Vaginally is most commonly done, and vaginally में there are two methods of doing cerclage. What are the two methods for doing cerclage? McDonald cerclage and Shirodkar cerclage. Right? McDonald and Shirodkar. Most common कौन सा करते हैं? McDonald cerclage. McDonald cerclage में you are going to use non-absorbable monofilament suture. कैसा suture use करोगे? Non-absorbable. Obviously अगर हम absorbable suture use करेंगे, right, तो वो तो permanent mouth close हो जाएगा ना cervix का. Non-absorbable use करेंगे तभी तो हम उसको cut कर सकते हैं and during the time of delivery patient can deliver. If you are using absorbable suture, then permanently you are closing the mouth of the cervix. Right, so you have to use non-absorbable suture. What type of sutures are you using? You are putting purse string suture. Purse string, like जैसे पोटली पर्स की होती है. So this is the image which they are going to give you. Where do you put these sutures? You put these sutures on exocervix. Where do you put it? Exocervix. What is the other name for exocervix? Portio vaginalis. What is the other name for exocervix? Portio vaginalis. Right? And you try to reach as close to the internal os as possible. Shirodkar cerclage में you use Marceline tape. Shirodkar में you are using Marceline tape. Abdominal cerclage. When do you do abdominal cerclage? You are going to use when vaginal cerclage fails. You are going to do it then. ठीक है? Next. What is the time to apply these sutures? Ideal time is 14 weeks. The sutures should never be applied before 12 weeks. They should never be applied after 24 weeks. Very good. In vaginal cerclage, at what time are you going to remove the suture? 37 weeks. But just in case your patient goes into preterm labor or if there is premature rupture of membranes, then earlier remove करोगे. तब थोड़ा ना कहोगे मैम ने कहा था 37 weeks पे remove करना है. Right? Then you have to remove it earlier. Excellent. What is the mode of delivery? Vaginal delivery. So suture remove करो और patient की vaginal delivery कराओ. What are the contraindications for cerclage? अब common sense लगाओ और बताओ. You tell me, अगर membranes ruptured है, am I going to do a cerclage? No. Right? अगर infection हो गया है, chorioamnionitis है, am I going to do it? No. Why am I doing cerclage? So that patient abort ना करे. Patient abort कब करेगी? जब uterus contract करेगा. So already if the uterus is contracting, right? I'm not going to do it because I know uterus is contracting, patient has to abort. या already cervix dilate करना start हो गया, right? Or suppose there is some fetal anomaly. अगर fetal anomaly है, why do I want to save that fetus? Right? Or if fetus is already dead, why do I want to save that fetus? Right? So in these cases, I am not going to do a cerclage. These are contraindications for doing a cerclage. So number 1, ruptured membranes. Number 2, if bleeding is occurring. Number 3, if there is chorioamnionitis. Right? If there are congenital anomalies of the fetus. Right? If there is what has happened? if there is intrauterine death, so this was anomalies, right? If there is intrauterine death, if uterus is already contracting and cervix is how much dilated? More than 4 centimeters dilated. Cervix is more than equal to 4 centimeters dilated. Clear to all of you? Yes, these are contraindications for cerclage. Next, very important is types of abortion. Whenever a question comes to you on types of abortion, what are you going to look in the history? सबसे पहले you are going to see whether they have given you product of conception coming out या product of conception not coming out. If your question is saying product of conception coming out, right, that means there are only 2 differential diagnoses. Either it can be incomplete abortion or it can be complete abortion, right? इन दोनों को differentiate करने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? Internal os को देखना है. If your question says internal os is open and product of conception coming out, पहले तो बताओ, whenever your question says beta product of conception coming out, right, it means, ma'am, in marrow you said infection is a, हाँ तो बेटा infection is a contraindication ना, that is why I wrote chorioamnionitis. Chorioamnionitis is infection, है ना, same thing. अभी भी मैं यही कह रही हूँ कि infection is a contraindication. So that instead of writing infection, I have written chorioamnionitis. Okay. Now, whenever there is history of product of conception coming out, that means fetal parts have come out. So per abdominal examination में what do you expect? Height of the uterus less than period of gestation. You expect height of the uterus less than period of gestation, right? So whether it is incomplete abortion or whether it is complete abortion, because product of conception is coming out, I expect the height of the uterus to be less than the period of gestation, right? So and now I have to look at internal os. If your question is saying internal os opens, that means it is incomplete abortion. And if your question says internal os closed, that means it is complete abortion. In case of complete abortion, patient is going to give you history that initially she was having bleeding, plus she was having pain in abdomen, plus product of conception came out, but now the bleeding has stopped. Whenever you get this kind of history, that tells me that yes, I am dealing with complete abortion. ठीक है? Now suppose your question says there is no history of product of conception coming out, right? Bleeding हो रही है but no product of conception has come out. Then there has to be only 3 differential diagnoses. Either it has to be threatened abortion, either it has to be inevitable abortion, or it has to be missed abortion. Threatened abortion का मतलब it is reversible, right? Inevitable abortion का मतलब it is irreversible. In both these cases, patient is going to come to you with complaint of bleeding plus pain in abdomen, right? Now, because there is no history of product of conception coming out, that is why per abdomen में क्या मिलेगा? Height of the uterus equal to period of gestation. Height of the uterus equal to period of gestation. Missed abortion. Missed abortion का मतलब क्या होता है? Missed abortion is an ultrasound finding. It's an ultrasound diagnosis basically. Missed abortion का मतलब है कि या तो कार्डियक एक्टिविटी आई नहीं या कार्डियक एक्टिविटी आई एंड अपने आप से स्टॉप हो गई. It could be any of these 2 things. Either the cardiac activity did not appear at all, or cardiac activity appeared and all of a sudden it stopped. That is what is meant by missed abortion. So it is not necessary. See, why are we calling it as missed abortion? Any female who has bleeding will come to know कि abortion हुआ है. Missed का मतलब है कि this patient did not have any bleeding. She doesn't even know that the fetus is dead inside her, right? So in missed abortion, there is history of only brown colored discharge. Bleeding नहीं मिलती in case of missed abortion. Patient will never come to you with bleeding. In case of missed abortion, height of the uterus could be equal to or it could be less than period of gestation. So whenever your question is saying brown colored discharge, you immediately have to think about missed abortion. Clear? Now, whenever you are getting a question on these three types of abortions, the question says that no product of conception has come out. Bleeding हुई है but no product of conception has come out. Again, I am going to look at the internal os. Internal os open का क्या मतलब है? Can the abortion be reversed? No. That means it is irreversible. And irreversible का मतलब it is inevitable. Inevitable abortion. Right? Now, if internal os is closed, then either I am dealing with missed abortion or I am dealing with threatened abortion. दोनों को differentiate करने के लिए अल्ट्रासाउंड कराओ. अल्ट्रासाउंड में if cardiac activity is present, that means threatened abortion. And if cardiac activity is absent, that means missed abortion. Other than that, in threatened abortion, patient will come to you with bleeding. In missed abortion, patient is going to come to you with brown discharge, right? In case of missed abortion, height of the uterus could be equal to or it could be less than POG. But in threatened abortion, always it will be equal to POG. Have you all understood? समझ में आया? In your questions, how you are going to make a diagnosis? Yes? चलो. MTP amendment. Very, very important. Everything about abortions is very important, right? Now MTP can be done up till 24 weeks. In case of contraceptive failure, MTP can be done up till 20 weeks. In severe congenital anomalies of the fetus, MTP can be done. No upper limit. No upper limit if it is approved by medical board. Right, this medical board is going to be consisted of gynae, pedia, radiologist and one person who the court will assign. Right, that person will be assigned by the court or from the state. इसको state बोलते हैं. Right, single doctor's opinion is required till 20 weeks. Okay, then two doctors' opinion is required up till 24 weeks. So between 20 to 24 weeks, you require two doctors' opinion. श्रेयास जो भी है नाम, बेटा 12 वीक्स वाला पुराना आंसर था. पुराने वाले MTP लॉ में सिंगल डॉक्टर्स ओपिनियन वाज रिक्वायर्ड अप टिल 12 वीक्स. Now it is 20 weeks and then two doctors' opinion between 20 to 24 weeks. Now, qualification to do MTP. Tell me, what are the qualifications? अब तुम लोग याद करके बताओ. Qualification is number one, either the doctor has MS, MD, DNB or DGO in OBS and gynae. Number one. Number two, registered medical practitioner who has done 6 months of house job. Where? OBGY में. Number 3, registered medical practitioner, excellent, who has assisted in 25 MTPs, in which 5 may he or she should have been the primary surgeon. And the latest one is any registered medical practitioner who has done 1 year of job in a multi-speciality hospital. No, they are not going to ask you old guidelines of MTP. They will never ask you, right? Okay. Then next, consent. What about consent? Female's consent is required for MTP, right? If the female is minor or if she is mentally retarded, local guardian. Age proof. Is it mandatory for every MTP? No. Only if you feel it is required, you are going to ask. Right? हर patient से उसका आधार कार्ड नहीं देखोगे for doing MTP. Marriage certificate? No. MTP can be done in unmarried females also. Right? Then FIR report of rape? No. If a female is saying that this pregnancy is a result of rape, you are not going to ask for an FIR report of rape, right? Not required, right? All records of MTP should be maintained for 5 years. And how often should you be sending the records of MTP to CMO office? Monthly. Monthly records to be sent to CMO office. As a doctor, it is very, very important for us that we don't have to leak the information of the patient. You don't have to use the name of the patient on the form also. Right? So, name of the patient and information related to the patient is not to be shared with anyone. Right? Coming to methods of doing MTP. In methods of doing MTP, this has slightly changed. At less than 9 weeks, what is the best method? Medical abortion. Dhruvit is asking ki if there is a mentally ill female, consent has to be given by husband or parents? Parents. Parents. Right? Okay. Legal guardian. It's not local guardian, they are right. It's legal guardian. Thank you for pointing out. It's legal guardian. Husband's consent is not required for doing MTP. Rather, tell me, for female sterilization, is husband's consent required? No. No. Husband's consent is not required for MTP. It is not required for even female sterilization like tubal ligation procedures. Husband's consent is not required. Okay. At less than 9 weeks, what is the best method for doing MTP? Medical abortion. Between 9 to 12 weeks, isko change karo, between 9 to 12 weeks, suction evacuation, and at more than equal to 12 weeks, abortion using mesoprost, right? Now, when you are doing medical abortion in first trimester, it is done on OPD basis. And when you are doing it in second trimester using mesoprost, you have to admit the patient, right? Okay. Then, for medical abortion, according to Government of India and according to WHO, now medical abortion can be done up till 9 weeks. What is the protocol? Again, as I said, this has to be done on OPD. On day 1, what are you going to give? Tablet mifepristone. How much? 200 milligram, single tablet, right? Then on day 3, what are you going to give? Misoprost. How much misoprost? 800 micrograms. How are you going to give it? Either oral or sublingual or vaginal, right? Preferred is oral. Then once you give misoprost, patient will have bleeding. On day 15, you are going to call her to assure that the procedure was complete. To ensure that the abortion was complete. Please tell me, whenever you are doing medical abortion, is ultrasound mandatory at any step? No. Ultrasound is not mandatory. How do you come to know that the abortion is complete? Clinically. अगर पेशेंट कहता है कि पहले ब्लीडिंग हो रही थी, now the bleeding has stopped, right? And I do a per vaginal examination and I see internal os is closed. I don't need to do an ultrasound to know that the abortion is complete or not. Abortion is definitely complete. But अगर पेशेंट कह रही है कि continuous bleeding हो रही है, तब से थोड़ा bleeding is happening and internal os is open, that means the bleeding is not complete, right? That means the abortion is not complete. Then I will do an ultrasound. Clear? Now, suction evacuation. Suction evacuation is done using two things. सबसे पहले you have to dilate the cervix using Hagar's dilator, right? So you are going to use Hagar's dilators. अच्छा, इससे भी पहले you tell me this. If they ask you what are the steps for doing DNC, steps for doing DNC. So whenever you have to do a dilatation and curettage, what are the steps? I have taught you that with the help of instruments, with the help of clay model, right? बताओ, what are the steps of doing DNC? सबसे पहले क्या करोगे? You have to do per speculum examination. कैसे करोगे? विजाइना को किससे रिट्रैक्ट करोगे? पोस्टीरियर विजाइनल वॉल को किससे रिट्रैक्ट करोगे? All instruments I have shown you. Which retractor? Sims retractor. Not done. Practical करके दिखाया and you are forgetting. Sims speculum से you will retract posterior vaginal wall, right? उसके बाद क्या करोगे? एंटीरियर वॉल को रिट्रैक्ट करोगे. एंटीरियर वॉल को किससे रिट्रैक्ट करोगे? एंटीरियर विजाइनल वॉल रिट्रैक्टर. ऑल दीज इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, अब मुझसे मत पूछना विच इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट. दीज आर द इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स विच आर इंपॉर्टेंट. इन इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स को देख के जाओगे, राइट? देन नेक्स्ट, रिट्रैक्ट कर लिया, अब सर्विक्स को होल्ड करना है. सर्विक्स को होल्ड करने के लिए क्या यूज करेंगे? Valsalem. What are you going to use? Valsalem. Now, if there are two ways in which you can revise these instruments. If you go on Instagram on Triple S, Sir and I have taken sessions, live sessions on instruments in obs and gynae and instruments in orthopedics. So you can revise from there. Same videos have been uploaded on Telegram channel, right? Triple S Telegram channel, you can watch from there. Or you can go to Marrow YouTube channel and you can watch all the OBGY instruments which I have taught there. Okay? Then you are going to use Valsalem. Valsalem से you are going to hold the cervix. Once you have held the cervix, अब मुझे क्या करना है? Now I want to know the size and the shape of the uterus, कि whether uterus is anteverted or retroverted. उसके लिए what am I going to use? Which instrument? Uterine sound. Excellent. I am going to use uterine sound. I showed you two instruments, uterine sound and bladder sound. What is the difference? Number one is in the tip. The tip of uterine sound is olive tipped. It is olive tipped. And दूसरा difference क्या होता है? Markings. You get markings in uterine sound, which you don't get in bladder sound. Now once I know the size of the uterus, now before I insert any instrument, I have to dilate the internal os. Without dilating the internal os कुछ भी नहीं जाएगा अंदर. So to dilate the internal os क्या करोगे? Dilators. कौन सा dilator? Hagar dilators. Right. हेगार डायलेटर का एक और यूज बताओगे अदर देन डायलेटिंग? किस पे क्वेश्चन आता है हेगार डायलेटर में? सपोज यू हैव अ फीमेल हु कम्स टू यू विथ कंप्लेन ऑफ प्रीवियस 2 or previous 3 second trimester abortions, and abhi she is not pregnant. Now I want to make a diagnosis of cervical incompetence in her. TVS तो तब यूज होता है ना when the patient is pregnant. Patient pregnant है, I'm going to look at the length of the cervix. Patient is not pregnant. She's saying she comes to you in gynae OPD and she says, Doctor अभी ना 2 बार से it has happened like this that I have had 2 second trimester abortions. Now third time I'm getting so anxious I don't even want to conceive. Right? So in that case, when you want to diagnose cervical incompetence, you are going to use Hagar's dilator. Right? So please understand that suppose this is the internal os. Internal os अगर closed है and I'm trying to put a dilator, patient is going to wince with pain, right? So she is going to offer some resistance. She will not allow me to do so. But अगर internal os open है and I am putting Hagar dilator, very easily अंदर जाएगा, right? So if you can put Hagar dilator number 8 without any resistance by the patient, that means your patient has cervical incompetence. So that is one more use of your cervical, this Hagar's dilator. Dr. T. Revenge, unmarried woman contraception failure. किसी भी unmarried woman के contraception failure हो या married woman के contraception failure हो, contraception failure है तो then you have to do MTP up till 20 weeks. ठीक है? Then and she lived. अब ये जिसने भी अपना नाम रखा है and she lived, married हो या unmarried woman हो, MTP can be done now up till 24 weeks. Clear? So this is how you proceed. अब यहाँ तक करने के बाद once you have dilated the internal os using Hagar's dilator, अगर DNC करनी है तो curate अंदर ले जाओ, suction evacuation करना है तो Carman's cannula अंदर ले जाओ. Are you understanding? These यहाँ तक steps are same. Now depending upon what procedure they ask you, if they ask you that you have to do a DNC, then after this procedure you are going to insert a curate, and if they say suction evacuation karna hai, then you have to insert a Carman's cannula, right? So suction evacuation is done using Hagar's dilator and you are going to use Carman's cannula. Carman's cannula has to be attached to suction machine. Carman's cannula will be attached to a suction machine. The number on Carman's cannula, it corresponds to period of gestation. So if my patient is 10 weeks pregnant, I will use 10 number Carman's cannula. What is the pressure which is generated? What is the pressure which is generated by the suction machine? 600 millimeters of mercury. In areas where electricity is not available, then you have to do manual vacuum aspiration. Manual vacuum aspiration is done using which syringe? MVA syringe. How does MVA syringe look like? It looks like this, right? In MVA syringe, Govind, चार्जिंग नहीं काम कर रही है लैपटॉप की. There are 2 pinch valves, right? There are 2 pinch valves. What is the capacity of the syringe? 60 ml, right? So the capacity of the syringe is 60 ml. There are 2 pinch valves. What is the pressure which is generated by the 660 millimeters of mercury? अगर वो ऑप्शन में नहीं दिया है then 600 millimeters of mercury. Please tell me, suction evacuation is best done till 12 weeks, right? It's best done till 12 weeks and the range is 9 to 12 weeks, but it can be done till excellent 16 weeks. You can do it till 16 weeks. Whereas manual vacuum aspiration can be done till 12 weeks. You can't do MVA beyond 12 weeks, right? There is another syringe which is very much similar to MVA syringe, which is your menstrual regulation syringe. What is the difference? There is a single pinch valve. There is a single pinch valve. What is the capacity of this syringe? 50 ml, right? Menstrual regulation is not used these days. It's not used these days. Menstrual regulation पहले use होता था and it was used only to do MTP till 6 weeks. Clear? Okay. This is something which we've done in detail. Then, best method to do MTP in second trimester? Mesoprost. Mesoprost. What are the other second trimester methods? So, in second trimester methods, you have medical methods. In medical methods, you can use prostaglandins. You can use prostaglandins. Which prostaglandins can you use? Mesoprost and carboprost. Which one do we use? We use mesoprost. Number 2, you can go for extra amniotic ethacridine. You can use extra amniotic ethacridine. Then you can use intra amniotic saline. Then you can use oxytocin. So this is first method, that is medical method. इसके अलावा what are the other methods? Surgical method. In surgical method, what method do you have? Dilatation and evacuation. As I told you, up till 16 weeks, you can also do suction evacuation. Then what is the third method? You can go for hysterotomy. Hysterotomy is not hysterectomy. Hysterectomy is removing the uterus. Hysterotomy is opening the uterus and removing the product of conception. Hysterotomy. Clear? Abortions done, MTP done. Okay. I am very much live from India only, beta. I am in India, I am in Gautam Nagar just now. Coming to ectopic pregnancy. अब ectopic pregnancy में what is the triad which you get in ectopic pregnancy? There will be abdominal pain plus bleeding plus amenorrhea. ठीक. What is the most common site for ectopic pregnancy? Fallopian tube. In fallopian tube, most common is ampulla. Right? In fallopian tube, most common is ampulla. Now, if they ask you that least common site in fallopian tube, interstitium. Interstitium. When ectopic pregnancy happens in interstitium, it is called as dangerous variety. It is called as dangerous variety. अगर वैसे least common in fallopian tube पूछेंगे तो interstitium. Overall अगर least common पूछेंगे तो overall where is the ectopic pregnancy least common? In caesarean section scar or cervical ectopic. Caesarean section scar or cervical ectopic. Right? Now, as I told you, in ectopic pregnancy, you get a triad of abdominal pain, bleeding and amenorrhea. What is the most consistent symptom? Abdominal pain. Now, what are those symptoms? Yeah, those hints in the question which will tell you that you are dealing with ruptured ectopic. So, whenever the ectopic is going to rupture, so over here suppose this is the bladder. Symptoms, पहले symptoms बताओ. हाँ, yes, shoulder tip is one of them. ये देखो. अब this over here is pouch of Douglas. Right? जब भी ectopic pregnancy rupture होगी, there is going to be bleeding and it will fill in pouch of Douglas. Right? So, and pura there is going to be hemoperitoneum. When there is going to be hemoperitoneum, blood is going to irritate the diaphragm. And because blood is going to irritate the diaphragm, there is going to be shoulder tip pain. So, if your question says that there is shoulder tip pain, number one. Number two, because blood is collecting in pouch of Douglas, तो वो हमेशा प्रेशर डालेगा रेक्टम पे, तो पेशेंट को ऐसा लगेगा there is urge to defecate. Urge to defecate. Number three, hypotension या syncope. So whenever any of these three things is mentioned as symptoms, as a sign you are going to get patient will be in shock. So if these things are present, we come to know we are dealing with ruptured ectopic. Now, in case of ruptured ectopic, management depends upon per abdominal examination finding. If your question is saying localizing signs are present, पहले बताओ what are the localizing signs? Guarding and rigidity. If your question is saying localizing signs are present, that is guarding and rigidity. Rebound tenderness is not a localizing sign, right? अगर question कह रहा है कि guarding and rigidity present है, it means that you are dealing with ruptured ectopic. There is no need for ultrasound. And your next step is surgical management of ruptured ectopic. Immediately I am going to say that I will manage my patient, surgical management of ruptured ectopic. But if your question is saying guarding and rigidity are not present, then I have to first confirm the diagnosis of ruptured ectopic. And how are you going to confirm the diagnosis of ruptured ectopic? By doing a fast. And if the diagnosis is confirmed, then I am going to go for surgical management of ruptured ectopic. Clear to all of you? So be very, very careful that in your question guarding and rigidity is mentioned or not. Guarding and rigidity present hai, that means the diagnosis is confirmed. You don't have to do any ultrasound. Straight away take your patient for laparotomy. That is surgical management of ruptured ectopic. But agar guarding and rigidity ka mention nahi hai in question, that means your next step has to be fast. Clear to all of you? These days a lot of next step are being asked. So this is going to help you in coming to the next step. Then surgery of choice. सबसे पहले तो how are you going to open the abdomen? To open the abdomen, I will do laparotomy. I will do a laparotomy. What is the surgery of choice in ruptured ectopic? Salpingectomy. If the tube is ruptured, you have to remove the tube. Right? There is no point in saving the tube if the tube is ruptured, irrespective of age and parity. Yahan pe how are they going to trick you? They are going to say that your patient is a primary patient with ruptured ectopic. Primary patient with ruptured ectopic. And they ask you the next step. Please don't say कि primary है तो I will not do a salpingectomy. Right? Tube ruptured है तो there is only one management and that is salpingectomy. Clear to all of you? You are never going to do medical management in ruptured ectopic. In ruptured ectopic, you never go for expectant management. In ruptured ectopic, you will never do any other surgery. Do you remove the ovaries in ectopic pregnancy? No. I will do salpingectomy. I will not do salpingo-oophorectomy. Clear to all of you? Yes, that is how you manage a ruptured ectopic. Coming to unruptured ectopic. In unruptured ectopic, the investigation of choice is TVS. Now here again, please, very, very important. यहाँ पे if your question is giving you only one finding, ये वाली finding अगर दे रहे हैं, then I am 100% confirmed that I am dealing with unruptured ectopic. And what is that finding? If your question says that there is a gestational sac, what has happened? So I'll just fill it, otherwise you people will say this is incomplete. This is expectant management, and over here it was no, never do any other surgery. Okay. Next. So investigation of choice, TVS, which finding tells you that it is 100% unruptured ectopic if you are getting a gestational sac plus yolk sac in fallopian tube. If you are getting a gestational sac and yolk sac in fallopian tube, that means it is 100% unruptured ectopic, and then your next step is medical management of unruptured ectopic, right? But if your question is using terms like only gestational sac in fallopian tube, if your question is using terms जो कि अभी मुझे chat पे मिल रही हैं, ring of fire appearance, ring of fire appearance is never diagnostic of ruptured ectopic, right? So if you are getting an appearance like this, this is not diagnostic. This is what is called as ring of fire appearance. But if you are getting ring of fire appearance, that is not diagnostic of ruptured ectopic. If your question uses terms like Bajel sign, it is never diagnostic. If your question uses terms like complex, add an Excel mass, or if your question uses terms like empty uterus, then these are not diagnostic of ectopic, and my next step is beta HCG estimation. Don't say that these are diagnostic signs, they are not diagnostic signs. Is that clear? So these signs are not diagnostic of unruptured ectopic. And whenever these signs are given and they ask you what is the next step, it is you have to go for beta HCG estimation. Now I told you critical titer of HCG. What was critical titer of HCG? That value of HCG at which gestational sac can be seen in an intrauterine pregnancy. In all, it is not an, in all intrauterine pregnancies. And I told you for TVS that value is 2000 international units. So if my patient's beta HCG values are more than 2000 and I am not getting a gestational sac, right, that means it is ectopic pregnancy. But if values are less than 200, my next step is repeat HCG after 48 hours. If after 48 hours HCG values nearly double, it means you are dealing with normal pregnancy, intrauterine pregnancies. If HCG values increase but do not double, ectopic pregnancy. And if values decrease, then you are dealing with abortion. Right? That is how you are going to diagnose unruptured ectopic. Huh, beta? So it is increase but do not nearly double. That is how it will be written. It will be written as slow rise in HCG. This is the term which they are going to use in your exams, that there is a slow rise in HCG. Slow rise in HCG means it is not doubling, right? Then, next question which they can ask you is, all of the following investigations are used in diagnosis of ectopic pregnancy except. So, कौन से investigations use करते हैं in ectopic pregnancy and investigations which are not used? What investigations do you use? As I told you, you are using TVS, you are using HCG values. Then what you can use? The gold standard for diagnosis of ectopic pregnancy is laparoscopy. Look at the ectopic pregnancy with your own eyes. Right? What else can you use? Serum progesterone levels. What else can you use? Excellent. In ruptured ectopic, you can go for culdocentesis. This is something which we have already done. I have also told you what are the investigations which are not used. कभी भी UPT पे positive है. Can you do HSG? No. कभी भी UPT positive है, can you do hysteroscopy? No. What is colpotomy? Colpotomy is a method to drain pelvic abscess. It has nothing to do with ectopic pregnancy, right? Now, these are the investigations which are used. Coming to management of unruptured ectopic. What is the best management of unruptured ectopic? Medical management. So, ये copy कर लिया था सबने. This is something which you've done in class. I don't think so you need to copy it again. I have made you write each of these things. Mahalakshmi OBG one touch is more than enough for FMG. Then, what is the drug of choice for management, medical management of unruptured ectopic? Methotrexate. How are you going to give methotrexate? Single dose therapy. What is the dose? 1 mg per kg. What route are you going to use? IM. Now, please remember what are the prerequisites for medical management. Very, very important. Patient's condition should be stable. Family of the patient should not be complete. Right? Size of the ectopic less than 4 centimeters. HCG values less than 5,000 international unit. Cardiac activity preferably absent. Remember, यहाँ पे ध्यान रखना है that first of all try and see that all medical management prerequisites are fulfilled or not. If medical management की prerequisites are fulfilled, then say that I am going to go for medical management. If the medical management prerequisite is not fulfilled, right? For example, your question says that HCG values are 7,000, or your question says size of the ectopic is 5 centimeters, or if your question says patient's family is complete. In those cases, you are not going to say that I am going to manage it medically. In that cases, you will have to go for surgical management. If prerequisites are not fulfilled, then you have to go for surgical management. Yes, Jaya, you are also saying right. You are saying we said it in per kg body weight, that is 1 milligrams per kg, and in surface area wise it is 50 milligram per meter square. दोनों में से कुछ भी हो सकता है. 50 milligrams per meter square. दोनों, either both these doses you should be knowing. Then, when it comes to surgical management of unruptured ectopic, how do you manage surgically unruptured ectopic? What will be the route? Laparoscopy. You will be doing laparoscopy, right? Now, what surgery are you going to do? If patient's family is complete, then you are going to go for salpingectomy. If family is not complete, तब कौन सी करते हैं? Salpingostomy. Linear salpingostomy. Salpingostomy में क्या कर रहे थे? What were you doing in salpingostomy? Where the ectopic pregnancy was present, you were giving a incision over it, you were removing the ectopic pregnancy, and then you were leaving the incision site like this. You are not putting any sutures. अगर suture लगाते हैं, it is called as gotomy. Gostomy का मतलब है you are leaving the ostium, right? Gostomy का मतलब है linear salpingostomy means you are not putting any sutures at the incision site. Clear to all of you? Yes? Okay. Look at this question which came in NEET PG 2022. A female patient presents to you with 6 weeks of amenorrhea, abdominal pain and vaginal bleeding. With normal blood pressure, investigations revealed beta HCG 1400. Ultrasound showed trilaminar endometrium, normal adenexa. What is the next best step in management? Ab you are going to go to the algorithm which I gave you. I told you कि question में सबसे पहले TVS करोगे for unruptured ectopic. अगर question में दिया है कि gestational sac and yolk sac is present where? In the tubes. Then your next step is मेडिकल मैनेजमेंट। बट अगर क्वेश्चन में दिया है एम्प्टी यूट्रस, यहां पे दिया है एम्प्टी यूट्रस, अगर वो कह रहे हैं कि कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है अल्ट्रासाउंड में, दैट मीन्स इट्स एन एम्प्टी यूट्रस। एंड आई टोल्ड यू दैट इफ इट इज एन एम्प्टी यूट्रस, व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट स्टेप? HCG, राइट? अब इन्होंने यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी दे हैव डन HCG एंड दे हैव गिवन इट टू यू, राइट? देन आई टोल्ड यू HCG देखोगे वेदर इट इज मोर देन 2000 और लेस देन 2000. If it is less than 2000, what do you have to do? Repeat HCG after 48 hours. यहाँ पे they have given you HCG as 1400. That means क्या करेंगे? Repeat HCG after 48 hours. Have you understood? You have to just fit in the information into the algorithm which I have given you. Unruptured ectopic pregnancy के लिए this is the only algorithm. And you just have to fit in the information कि ये दिया है, अब देख लेते हैं what is the next step. Clear? What is this showing you? This is a molar pregnancy. This is snowstorm appearance which you are getting on ultrasound in case of molar pregnancy. Now in molar pregnancy we are having complete mole and partial mole. What is the karyotype of complete mole? What is the karyotype of a complete mole? Complete mole is diploid. Partial mole is triploid. कैसे याद रखोगे? C के पास D आता है ना, और P के पास में T आता है, A B C D, और P के बाद P Q R S T, तो C के पास is D, that is complete mole is always diploid, partial mole is always triploid, right? So complete mole is 46XX and partial mole is 69XXY. Right? Okay. Then, in case of complete mole, what about fetal parts? Fetal parts are absent. In partial mole, some fetal part will be present. In case of complete mole, what are you going to get? On ultrasound? On ultrasound, you are going to get snowstorm appearance. In case of partial mole on ultrasound, what are you going to get? An appearance like missed abortion or incomplete abortion. Appearance like missed abortion. Okay. What is the investigation of choice in a molar pregnancy? TVS. As I told you, in case of complete mole, what are you going to get? A typical appearance like this, which is called as snowstorm appearance. What is the gold standard investigation? Histopathological examination. What is the management of a molar pregnancy? Suction evacuation. PIH, thyrotoxicosis. PIH and thyrotoxicosis. Right? What is the most common GTN after molar pregnancy? Nahin, invasive mole. Most common GTN after molar pregnancy is invasive mole. If invasive mole is not given in the options, then you are going to go for choriocarcinoma. Right? Chalo, I think that's enough. Let me just repeat this for the students who are there watching online. Right? And rest, you take a break. What time do you want me to continue? 4 o'clock. 1 hour का break दे रही हूँ. ठीक है? हाँ. Right. So for all the students who are there online, please remember the investigation of choice for molar pregnancy is TVS. Gold standard investigation is histopathological examination. and management is suction evacuation, unless and until your question says that your patient is more than 40 years and her family is complete. Only if your question is saying that the age of the patient is more than 40 years and family is complete, then your answer is going to be hysterectomy, right? Now, once you've done hysterectomy or once you've done suction evacuation, you have to follow up your patient. Follow-up has to be done with beta HCG levels. This beta HCG level has to be measured every week till you get 3 normal values. Normal values का मतलब है 3 negative values. And then you have to do it monthly. And this has to be done for 6 months. During these 6 months, we do not want patient to conceive, and that is why pregnancy is contraindicated for 6 months after evacuation of molar pregnancy. Patient is going to ask you what is the contraceptive of choice. The contraceptive of choice is oral combined pills. If they ask you that in a patient of molar pregnancy, what is the management of theca lutein cyst? Management of theca lutein cyst is nothing. This theca lutein cyst will automatically regress, right? Once you've done suction evacuation, it is going to automatically regress. Now, a patient of molar pregnancy has increased HCG, and this increased HCG की वजह से patient can come to you with complaint of hyperemesis gravidarum, that is excessive nausea and vomiting. Patient can come to you with complaint of PIH and thyrotoxicosis. Most common GTN after molar pregnancy is invasive mole. If invasive mole is not given, then you are going to mark the answer as choriocarcinoma. So this is what I have taught you in molar pregnancy. Now all of you take a break and we resume part 3 of OBG at 4 o'clock, right? Prabhav Raval, we are going to do the most common cause of postmenopausal bleeding. I'll tell you that. When I do gynae revision, I will tell you that. Don't worry. अभी जानना है तो please remember most common cause of postmenopausal bleeding worldwide. Now the answer is polyp, right? And earlier the answer was endometrial atrophy. Okay? In India, the most common cause is cancer cervix. गोविंद हो गया.
आपने क्लिनिक का बोला था, हाँ, फॉर द बैकअप.